Hello and welcome to the weather for the week from the Met Office. Now, mostly this week we'll be focusing in on spells of rain crossing the UK. Often it'll be quite blustery too, but for the most part the winds will be coming in from the south or the southwest, which will bring relatively mild air. However, later this week we could start to see a shift. A change in the wind direction may well allow things to turn quite a lot colder, especially by the weekend. More on that in just a moment. Let's get through the working week first of all, which will be dominated by low pressure systems. We're surrounded across the UK, but notice just here a little ridge of high pressure, this little bump in the isobars, and the low pressures part to allow this ridge to topple in through Tuesday, which means that Tuesday for most of us will be the driest and the brightest day of this working week. It doesn't mean sunny everywhere, and it does mean it'll start frosty across Northern Ireland. Elsewhere, quite a lot of cloud across the east and still a few showers around. But for most places, certainly across England and Wales, a drier, brighter day compared to Monday. And it'll feel a bit warmer as well when we see some sunshine. Temperatures generally getting up into 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. Notice those starting to cloud over in the west as the day goes on. That is from this weather front, which is being moved around an area of low pressure, and another one follows in behind for Wednesday. Now, this one in particular will bring outbreaks of rain across much of the west throughout Wednesday. It's going to be quite slow moving, and that rain could be quite heavy, especially across parts of the southwest later on Wednesday. It never really reaches the east, so many eastern areas will have a dry and a fine day on Wednesday. Just question marks about how much cloud there is. Certainly, though, if we see some sunshine, temperatures could really jump up. There will be a strengthening wind, which could get very blustery across the west as the day goes on, but it's bringing up the milder air. So if you see some sunshine, we could easily see temperatures into the teens if it stays cloudy, 9 or 10 Celsius, and 9 or 10 with that strong wind in the southwest. With the rain won't feel very pleasant. That weather front then moves northwards slowly through Wednesday night and then kind of grinds to a halt. A very static system with this area of low pressure just dominating through Thursday and probably Friday as well. Now, some question marks about exactly where that weather front sits, but it could become very slow moving and bring such a persistent rain across parts of northern England, eastern England and southern Scotland, followed on behind further south by bands of showers heading northwards, some brightness in between, and again it will be quite blustery. Now notice the wind's starting to come in from the North Sea again, so the east coast will be quite chilly. Elsewhere, again, double figures, bit of sunshine, those temperatures could jump up further, but I think sunshine will be in short supply. Friday, again, more of the same really, that persistent band of cloud and rain. The rain could really start to mount up in places, so we need to watch that. Further south again, maybe some brighter spells, but there will be showers around and more of that easterly wind, keeping the temperatures in single figures in the east, whereas elsewhere we're looking at double digits, 10 or 11 Celsius. So that's through the working week. Quite a bit of rain around, often quite blustery. The big question marks then come into the weekend. Low pressure still nearby, but this big area of high pressure dominating across Scandinavia as we go into the weekend starts to influence things, just shifting closer to the UK. The isobars again pinching together, so the winds will be picking up. But as that high influences things, we'll see a shift of the wind direction. More of an easterly wind picking up through the weekend. That means the air is going to again come down from parts of northern Europe, where it is, of course, still very cold. Bitterly cold air still sitting across northern Europe, and that cold pool of air just drifting towards the UK this weekend. Now, this is similar to what happened a couple of weeks ago, but I must stress this air isn't quite as cold as it was a couple of weeks ago. And there's still a lot of uncertainty about whether the coldest air moves south or moves towards the UK. But it does look as if after a relatively mild week, the weekend will turn colder with the return of nighttime frosts. Snow, that's the big question mark. Just like it was a few weeks ago, we'll firm up the details on the snow much closer to the time. And the message at the moment, with the uncertainty, keep up to date with the forecast. You can do that through our website or our social media channels, or of course, through our YouTube channel.